Welcome to Ask Mark 103. Got some epic questions from you today, so thank you for sending in your subscriber questions. Now someone, I don't know who it was, but one of you left a comment on a video recently, and the comment read something along the lines of, looking at me through this camera is the equivalent to looking at me through a door. You know those little door peeker things? You're not going to be able to unsee that shit now. This should be a good lesson to all of us about codependency, right? I go away from Maddie, I don't have a camera person anymore, turns out I'm completely codependent on Matt, and this is what happens when he's not around. It's all gone to shit. So I'm going to work on getting a backup videographer. No one can ever replace Maddie, but apparently I need to do something about the doorbell camera. So thank you for your feedback. In the meantime, we're going to be answering some questions. Before we get into that, remember, I created a new breakup course. It's called Your Last Breakup. The goal of the course is to make sure that if you're going through a breakup right now, that is your last breakup. So there's 8 PDFs, 30, 40 videos in there, heaps of stuff to get you through your breakup. It's been getting some wonderful feedback, so please, if you're going through that, check it out, just for your mental health, for your sanity, to get out of the pain. It'll do wonders for you. Other thing is my audiobook is now available, Make Him Yours, Beating the Odds of Modern Dating. That one is ready to go on Audible, so check it out if you like listening to my voice. And finally, all the free guides, including the 12 texts to make him yours and Messaging Magic, my book, all about like 100 pages of texting. Brilliant, always gets incredible feedback, that one. So check it out. That is in the description. Shall we get to some questions? It is Ask Mark 103. Remember, hashtag Ask Mark in the comments if you want me to answer yours. Wendy says, I broke up with him because of his drinking and him being a puppet to his ex-wife. It's been 10 months and I'm still wanting him to get his act together and come back. Maybe he will, maybe not. Any thoughts? Wendy, don't hold your breath. All right, so often we get in these situations where when we're really honest with ourselves, we know what our best self would do and that our best self would move away from that situation. Right? I actually talk about this in the breakup course. We get so addicted to the feelings that men, women generate within us, the feeling of being with them, that we struggle then to do what's best for us. But Wendy, I think you know what's best for you here. And I think that I don't have to even answer this question for you to be able to say, hey, I know what my best self would do here. Leave this guy behind, move on. When you do, you'll feel great about it. Second question is from Marie. Marie says, what about a husband that takes off, bloody hell, has a baby, and then stops by every 3 months? Then asks you to have sex because he's learned new things. What are the questions this week? What's going on, team? Shakilah says, I need your help with something, please. My ex-boyfriend keeps messaging me, saying things all the time. Saying things all the time. For years, bloody hell. Just saying things all the time for years. Now, but I find out something that he's got a new girlfriend, but he still keeps messaging me, saying things. I love how there's no description of the text, it's just saying things. What does it mean? Before he had a new girlfriend, I found out he said he wants to be back with me. He asked for my help. 2, saying he loves me. What does it mean, Mark? Can you help me? Thank you. Mark, can you help me? Bloody hell. What's he playing at? Why has he done it? When he's got a new girlfriend, keeps messaging me. Okay, I think we get the picture here. Look, guys act on impulse. In fact, we all act on impulse at times, but men are certainly not immune to that. Right? He does this because he doesn't want to let you go, and frankly, he's just being lazy and following his impulses. So let him blow up your phone, but the fact that you're giving him your attention still, that's the thing I worry about. You want to take that attention and direct it towards people who deserve it, right? Direct it towards the men that deserve it. The more you do that, the more he's going to be hitting his head against a wall. He's eventually going to get bored of that. And you, more importantly, are not going to have your bandwidth taken up by a guy who's been messaging you for years. And I suspect you've been replying because no one messages over and over again for years without a reply. So I suspect there's been some replies in there. I suspect there's actually a part of you that's enabling or enjoying this a little bit. So you gotta be brave and you gotta say, you know what, you got a girlfriend, I need to clear my bandwidth. You got this. Danielle says, what does it mean when a guy says he feels an emotional connection towards me? I hate to oversimplify this, but all it's saying is that he feels some emotions towards you. I feel emotions for Will Smith, right? I admire him from afar. Doesn't mean I ever do anything about it. I think we get really wrapped up in like the Hollywood fantasy of, oh, he feels the emotions and it's like the thing, it's the target that I can reach. And that's not what it's about. It's what is he doing about it? How is he showing up and how is he acting on that? What are his actions in the real world and are they meeting my minimum standards for what I want in a partner? Emotional connection don't matter. Actions and what is he doing about it is what matters. All right, what do we got next? Nicky. Nicky's channel says, how do I handle being in a long distance relationship with a guy who isn't great at communicating? He says he loves me and we've made plans to meet later this year as we met online. Oh my gosh, y'all gotta stop getting yourselves into these situations. All right, let's see. He's talking marriage and forever already, but some days just hardly says anything at all. And I'm finding I'm the one who always has to keep the conversations going. I've mentioned this to him, but no change, and it's frustrating me. All right, first and foremost, wherever possible, meet people in your own city. Okay, we do set up all these problems by meeting people who are so far away. You know, this beautiful woman, Nicky, has potentially, you know, they say they're gonna meet later in the year. If this guy is not the exception to the rule, and by that I mean 95% of people, probably more you meet in this situation, are avoidants who are not serious about having any kind of relationship. So unless this guy is an exception to that rule, there's a significant chance that Nicky is gonna waste like 6 months of her emotional bandwidth here. So really important for you, you know, meet people who are physically available, not just emotionally available. Try to put the two together. If you are already finding yourself in this situation, it's important you say, hey, I've mentioned this to him, but there's no change and it's frustrating me. This is like any standards piece. We sometimes get way too stuck in words, in talking about the problem, right? You're saying again and again, I want you to appreciate me, I'm appreciating you, but I'm not getting it in return, right? The problem with words is that if you don't act on them, people stop listening. So what's really happening in this situation is I strongly suspect there's been an out of balance where they were probably equal for a while in appreciation, right? And then over time, something started to happen is Nicky started being more appreciative and the guy started being less. And they sort of slipped into this comfort zone where Nicky was doing it a lot more than him. And after a little while, Nicky woke up and said, wait a minute, I'm not feeling appreciated here. I'm not okay with this. Right, and she mentioned it to him. The problem is because she mentioned it to him and hasn't acted on it after mentioning it, it's just continued and the guy's now essentially stopped listening, right? If you mention a problem and then it doesn't start getting resolved, then you need to act on the consequences. So in this case, it would be, okay, well, Nicky needs to lower her investment quite significantly. And when you hear coaches talk about being willing to walk away or focusing on yourself, that's what they mean. It's like, well, Nicky, your words say that you're okay, that you're not okay with the unbalanced appreciation, but your actions say that you are, because you keep doing it, right? So this is where Nicky needs to go, all right, well, I mentioned once, hey, you know, it would mean a lot to me if you were open to working on your verbals or even showing appreciation in a different way. Would that be something you're open to? And if the guy says yes, then doesn't do it, okay, well, like, why would I want to keep being with you? If you're not meeting that standard that I'm setting for myself, then I'm losing interest in you. And that's how the situation should naturally rebalance, is you start to lose interest and do your own thing. He feels energetically that he's losing you and suddenly he steps up. You do that enough times, that little rebalancing early in a relationship, and eventually guys figure out, they sort of just learn unconsciously that they can't drop the ball, right? That they need to keep showing up. So you want to correct this stuff as it starts to happen, and not let it get too far into the, oh, now I'm 6 months into a situation where I've been doing all the appreciating. Key point to take away though, is you got to back your words with actions. Even in a distance scenario, if you're saying you want something and then not acting on it, as in not moving away or showing your turned offness when he doesn't step up to that, then unfortunately it's not going to be listened to. You can't say something with your words and not back it up with your actions and have that thing taken seriously. Deborah says, I don't understand men. In all capitals, she really means it. Mark, hi. I've been dating for 7 months now. My boyfriend is cheating I know he is, I want to break up with him, but he won't accept it. He always denied the fact that he's cheating, won't let us break up, always lying about cheating too. Wow, we got some great guys we're describing today, don't we? One guy who's cheating constantly. What was the last guy? He's bloody puppet to his ex-wife, had a baby with someone else. Anyway, Mark, why won't he admit that he's cheating so we can go our separate ways? Again, it's the same sort of thing, because he keeps getting rewarded with words, or at least he keeps seeing your actions, is what I mean to say, not enforce anything. You say you want to break up with him, but you don't. So you don't want to break up with him. Actions always trump words, right? The reason he keeps doing this, unfortunately, is because he can. He can get away with it with you. Only by you saying, hey, this is my line in the sand, I'm having my actions lead the way, will he respect you and leave you alone, basically. Imagine if I said to you, oh, you know, I just keep trying to break up with my girlfriend, but she won't let me. You'd be like, Mark, what do you mean she won't let you? You break it up with her. It's not a case of her letting you, right? You gotta let your actions lead the way here. You can do this, Deborah. You got this. Take it on. Gabriella says, if a woman always appreciates what he does and what we do, when he almost never says the words of appreciation back, and is always critical. First of all, criticism is a problem in any relationship, so that's already a red flag there. Second, Gabriella, this goes back, and I'm sure a lot of you could probably relate to this, hey, I'm always giving and appreciative and working hard, I'm not getting in return. This goes back to what I was saying to Nicky before. Often we play out our childhood patterns in our adult relationships, right? And if you've been a giver, if you've been a caretaker, it's really easy to slip into that unbalancedness. And you can say all day long that till you're blue in the face that, hey, I want more appreciation. But if your actions don't back it up with real hard boundaries, men don't listen. Human beings are predisposed to laziness, right? And if we don't have to do something because the pain of consequences aren't coming, then we won't do it. So again, if you're not getting appreciated the way you want to, and especially if this is happening consistently and you've spoken about it, you've got to start showing with your actions that you're not willing to accept a relationship where you're not appreciated. Right? Now, ultimately, it's up to the guy if he wants to step up and do that. You don't want to force him because that's just going to make him resentful. But you can share vulnerably, like, yeah, this is important to me. And I would never force you to do anything. Your freedom's important to me. And at the same time, I also want to be honest and let you know that, long term, I'm not going to be in a relationship where someone doesn't want to appreciate me and to demonstrate that. So would finding a way to do that be something you're I guess not just open to, but actually wanting to do? Or is it not? And either way, that's okay, but you got to let me know so I can make a clear decision about our future. Right? You see, it's vulnerable, but it's like, he knows the axe is coming down. The actions are happening. So whatever it is, if you don't want to let it get too far out of balance for too long, because the more it does, the harder it is to get back. Good news is, as soon as you set your actions back, the guy gets the point and then says, all right, I got to sort this now or I'm going to lose her. That's what drives him. We got a question from Sarah, and Sarah says, I've met this guy, he's 22, I don't know if that would make any difference, that disappeared, then came back, then disappeared again. Right, but now he's back again. Where's Waldo? His name is Waldo. And now he wants to meet up. When I asked what happened, he said that he wanted to focus on himself and get his life together. He made a business and got his master's. Good on him. But he was always on social media that whole time. So now I don't even know if he's genuine or actually cares or not. Do I move on and ignore him or respond and let him know that I can't tolerate his behavior? Look, if a woman did this to me once, I'd be skeptical. Twice, I'm done. Now, it's not to say he obviously got legitimately busy, but you've got to ask yourself the question, do I want to be with someone who, as soon as they get legitimately busy, vanish? If someone does that once, it's going to take them showing up consistently for a long time for me to believe that they've changed their ways, they've had a revelation, they've had new insights, and have really shifted. It's going to take a fair while. The cat wants to get out. It's going to take a fair while, right? But if someone's done that twice, how can you ever trust that when life gets tough, when they get busy, they're not going to do that for a third time? He's not the busiest guy in the world, right? There's people busier than him. And if something's important, you make the time for it. So honestly, if someone's done that twice, I mean, I would just ignore it. To be completely honest, I'd be like, yeah, I'm over this. You could mention it to him. You could say, yeah, no, it's not, I can't really go with this. It doesn't really matter. The point is, it would be very, very difficult to trust someone with almost a long, long time of actions now that they've done this twice. I hope that helps, Sarah. Final question is from Amy, who says, I really need your answer, please. There's the guy that I like. Actually, I'm in love, but we haven't talked for like 3 years. My gosh. We go to the same school. This is cute. We always have eye contact, but we haven't talked to each other because of a fight we had 3 years ago. My gosh. High school love. It's the last year of school, so I want to express my feelings for him, but how? I'm really in love with him and I need your help. So I think, again, we watch these Disney movies, we watch these rom-coms, and we're like, if I could just say the right thing, it's going to be magical, it's going to be wonderful. And we make it a way bigger deal than what it is. Just talk to the guy. Right? Ask him how his day is. See what he's been up to the last week. How's his study going? What's fun in his life right now? Don't take any of it too seriously. We build it up in our heads, put all this pressure on it, and it totally removes our funness, our playfulness, our spontaneity. Just gotta talk to him like he's a normal, boring dude who has a cool life that you can learn about. Like he's no one special, right? I know he's special to you, but bring it back down to being a friend. How would you talk to a friend you haven't seen in a while? Just talk to him like that, right? You can worry about that stuff later, but you're not gonna like fall in love and get in a crazy relationship if you can't have a normal conversation. So start with a normal conversation. If that flows, you guys can hang out. If that flows, you guys can kiss. If that flows, you can talk about feelings, but let's not put the cart before the horse, right? Have a normal conversation with the dude and chill out, relax, go from there. That's us, Mark. Lucy, I think, wants to hang out with me now, so I gotta get running. But download the audiobook. My audiobook, Make Him Yours, Beating the Odds of Modern Dating, is now available, as is my messaging magic book, All the Secrets of Modern Day Texting, and Your Last Breakup, my new course, is now available too if you're going through a breakup. Leave your question with the hashtag AskMark in the comments section. I always read over a whole bunch of them, so thank you for sharing them with me. Hit the like button if you joined the video, and make sure you hit that big red subscribe button with the little bell if you're enjoying the content. Well, I appreciate you. I will see you next time.